Today I decided to stay close to home, and this is a view that I get from my house, but it's a bit harder to see, so I decided to come to this hill and try to paint it. It is cold today as well, so of course I was trying to paint in the sun so the paint and the water wouldn't freeze. However, I did put some salt on the water that I'm using, and actually it worked. It worked that the paint wasn't freezing. However, I think that by adding the salt, the granulation of the paint is a little bit more accentuated. And I mean, I love granulation. It's nothing that I'm not a fan of. So maybe that's something that I'm gonna keep doing regardless if it's cold or not. But so far, I like the effect that I'm getting from the salt in the water. It could maybe not be because of it, so I have to test it when it's warmer outside, or I could do it indoors. But I mean, right now, if it helps me to keep this project alive, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna fuss too much about it. Now, something that I'm really thinking about is that I kind of want to have a little table just so that I don't have to put things in the floor, but of course, that will just make me have to carry more things, and it could make things a little bit more complicated. So we'll see. Now I'm just cleaning my palette because I think that paints were still active from yesterday, and I think because of the salt they just stay activated much longer, so I had to wipe it off with my rag that I have. And I noticed also that I accidentally stained the paper with my glove as you can see now. And I'm like, oh, okay, then I have to be careful because I also stained a little bit the part of the paper where I was about to paint. So yeah, I mean, getting ready, also I could feel that it was a bit colder today. It technically isn't, like the numbers don't say it's colder, but I just felt it was very, very cold. My hands or my fingers were feeling it straight away. So I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna just freeze the paint right away, or maybe it's not. I'm hoping that the water with salt will help, and it did. I'm not gonna hang you on to till the end of the video for you to find out. It did hang on, but I did struggle with the cold today, and you will see that I'm starting to get sort of a good workflow when I'm outside. I'm still kind of following the same workflow I always have. However, what I think is working a bit better now is that I am a bit more confident in my brushstrokes, and so I don't think about too much where I'm putting what. Is more about, this is what I need to do. I'm gonna do it fast because one, it's cold, and two, I just need to move faster because the light moves fast. Of course, maybe not so much here in Norway and in winter because the sun stays so low, but I think it's a good thing to stay in the habit of moving fast while painting, especially with watercolor. So now I'm just gonna start adding the sky, which in the picture looks almost blue. But one thing that I learned from the book called Color Relativity, I don't remember the name of the author, or at least not her last name. I always struggle with her last name. Cami. She talks about looking at the colors in terms of their, I think it's secondaries instead of the primaries. So if something looks blue, instead of thinking about it, does it look blue? Is it a cool blue or a warm blue? Think about it as in, is it a blue that is closer to purple or magenta, or is it a blue that is closer to green or yellow, So that has really helped me to judge the colors better, and especially with what I've been saying, that colors are colors out in nature are basically tertiary, so that basically means that all three primary colors are mixed together. So by thinking in secondaries instead of primaries, I think we are able to make a better judgment out of the colors that we see. And I painted a banana, like still life banana, with these principles that Cami Medlink. I really don't remember her last name. I'm sorry, Cami, but I was really impressed to see that my color accuracy or perception, or actually representation of color in the painting, was much better when I thought about it that way. And I don't know if anybody else has presented this kind of theory of color in such a way. Maybe somebody has, but at least Cami's book was very helpful, and I hope that she gets the credit that she deserves, because it was a really, really nice book. I still haven't finished it. I mean, color is something that we can always be learning, but I just wanted to get the basic gist of what she's going for, and then just try to run with that and use it in practice, like here. I mean, I started using it because I started seeing the relationship between what I was seeing in real life and also what I know conceptually from books like this one. And that's something that I feel like a lot of the things that I've learned from books are starting to kind of come together, because most of those are based off of experience of painting outdoors, or I don't know, they could be just a lot of experience painting, whether it is indoors or outdoors. And yeah, there's something that's just clicking in my head from all the things that I've read and heard and all the videos in YouTube that I watched. It feels like they're all just coming together now. I was trying to paint not on direct sunlight, just so you guys could see what I was painting a little bit better. But I was struggling a bit to keep the sketchbook in an angle that wouldn't happen. And also the paper started buckling, so the light that is hitting the notebook is mostly from the underside as well. So yeah, the joys of painting outdoors. It's a constant struggle, but it's still fun. Today I actually rushed through the painting process because of what I said at the beginning. It was really cold. Now I was trying to add a darker tone of like some trees, and yeah, I was just rushing because it was really painful. Like my index finger and my right hand for some reason was hurting a lot, and it's weird because I didn't experience this in previous days. But yeah, I mean, every day is a different day, right? So I just had to adapt, and I just like, okay, I'm not gonna stay here for a very long time. But this led me to actually paint a lot faster, a lot more decisive, not think things too much, and just go with it, you know? And it was actually pretty impressive to see the result, because even though I reduced my painting time by a lot, I still was able to paint just as well in a way. But yeah, I did forget to sign the date and the number on this painting while I was out there. I was just so cold, and I really needed my finger to have some sort of sensation again. So yeah, that was not scary, but like a bit uncomfortable. Now I'm adding a bit of detail on the back mountain that you can see in the reference picture, and I'm adding things here and there, not so much detail, because I'm just rushing to try to be done and go back inside, or at least put my right hand in my pocket. But yeah, putting some trees that needed to be darker. Not as dark as you can see them in the picture, but a little bit darker. I even forgot that I have a smaller brush that I could use like yesterday to have like more opaque, or be able to pull a lot more paint from the wells. But we live and we learn, and I was kind of like in survival mode. Now I think it's just about here that I'm like just adding a little bit of the shine of the near grasses, the yellow kind of glow, and then I just add a bit of the blue that is reflecting from the sky on the grass. And then I'm like, okay, no, I'm done. I was looking at it, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna add something else, and then I'm like, nah, I'm done. My hand is just hurting. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, even though it was a little bit shorter than usual, and I'll see you tomorrow.